Me parece que esto están dando, así que vamos a... A ver. PC. Se va a ver. Pantalla. Modificar. Hecho. Ahora sí. Perfecto. Bueno, se va a ver. Transición. Ahí vamos. ¿Se ve mi webcam? No se ve mi webcam. Se ve. Transición. Ahora se ve. Ahí me veo, por fin. Vamos a sacar esto de acá. Vamos a compartir esto en... no, ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde están tus videos? En vivo. ¿Esto está en vivo? Sí, esto está en vivo. Suscripciones. ¿Y dónde tengo el link para poder...? Acá está. A ver. Ok, se escucha mucho el ruido de mi casa, por lo que veo. Vamos a hacer lo siguiente antes. Mostrar en vida broadcast, eliminación de ruido y el eco. Ahí se debería escuchar mejor. Ahí está. Perfecto, ahora sí. Esto está por un lado. A ver cómo me escucho ahora. Ok, se escucha mucho el ruido de mi casa, por lo que veo. No. Un poco mejor ahí. Ok, entonces le bajo un poco al desktop, un poquito al micrófono y ahí estamos. Bien, eso por un lado. Compartir. Copiar vínculo. YouTube. Ahí va. Publico la historia. Bien, ya está. Vamos esto acá. Escucha ahí. Perfecto. Español. Idioma de las voces, yo la quiero en inglés, obviamente. Y me anda el control, me anda a aceptar. Calidad alta, equilibrado, rendimiento. A ver. No tiene nada de... Ay, qué garrón que no tenga nada. O tendrá... Veremos. Cumplen los siguientes requisitos mínimos. No hay pérdida de FPS por el momento. Vamos bien. 16 GB de RAM, 3080, 5000, 2060, 1080p, 30 fps. Le voy a poner un rendimiento yo, porque no me da. HDR no le voy a poner ahora, porque creo que me... A ver, si yo le pongo... No, tengo que quitarle el HDR, no le voy a poner ahora. Me gusta un poquito más de brillo. Siguiente. Konami. Voy a mover un poco la cámara del lugar. Ahí va. Ahí me toma mejor. Ahí va. Versión original. Le mandaron el aviso de que los públicos han cambiado. Qué garrón, boludo. Qué triste que este juego se vea viejo y es nuevo. bajar un poco. Iniciar juego. Ya objeto. Opciones. Gráfico. Ah, bueno, tiene opciones gráficas. Pantalla. Se completa 1080p, CineSync, 60 fps, DLSS, rendimiento. Melón equilibrado, medio. Reducir, después de movimiento no. Filtro, estilo. Buscar un filtro que menos falte la control. Tipo de acción, blanqueado, filtro de estilo tradicional. Controles, accesibilidad, extras, colección de camuflaje, HD Collection. Listo, ya no me da. No, dame Metal Gear Solid 5. Quiero jugar con los controles de los juegos de acción modernos. Con enemigos a punto de primera persona. Dame el normal. Todo, ver importante.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Sacar el reloj. Basado en Metal Gear Solid 3. David Rodeador, 20.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. Ready to go.
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate the air bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3,
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Dirigido por Hideo Kojima.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist
Voy a poner pausa un segundo, grabar. Iniciamos grabación. Ah, está grabando. Listo.
requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice.
Básicamente está diciendo que
President Kennedy gave
no
in to
entregaron a
Khrushchev's
Sokolov
demand.
y tampoco lo pueden ir a buscar porque si no
The
le
next
entregaron
day,
la
I
guerra.
got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to
Este
agents
Sokolov
on the
quería
eastern
asilo
side.
político para evitar que lo
Sokolov
acaben
kept on
matando a él y
screaming,
a la
"Save me,"
familia,
until he
básicamente.
disappeared from my sight.
Algo que pasa todos los días, obviamente, en plena Guerra Fría.
Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under
Ahora
KGB
explican que
supervision.
Sokolov básicamente lo están
What's more,
forzando
it's on the
a
verge of completion.
So
a
what kind of
terminar de
weapon
trabajar
is
en
it?
una
Something to do with
nueva
space
arma
rockets?
para la Unión
No.
Soviética.
Missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a
Básicamente
new
por
kind
eso
of
Metal
nuclear
Gear,
device.
el arma que está hablando
For half a
es
year now, the
Metal
Soviets
Gear,
have been conducting
o por
frequent
lo
nuclear
menos en esta
tests of
parte de la
semi-palatins.
línea de tiempo de
Something to
Metal
do
Gear
with the
se
weapon,
trata
I
de
assume.
el arma
We're talking
que
about a secret weapon
originalmente
so big that Khrushchev was
era
ready to
todo
pull out
el
of Cuba to
quilombo.
get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
Así que
No,
están
according to
explicando
our
a
intelligence, he's in
Snake que
Selino
tiene que
Yas,
meterse
a
en
place in the
estas
mountains about
junglas
3
o
miles to the
buscarlo
west
a
that's known as
este
the Virgin
científico y
Cliffs.
rescatarlo, básicamente.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just
También se
recently.
llama la
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Básicamente tenemos que ir a buscarlo porque, bueno, hay que ir a buscarlo.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yas in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Acá están hablando
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
del sistema de rescate.
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
No es perfecta.
copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listed from... Your codename for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
Yo aviso que
I'm
este
glad
juego
to hear
tiene
that.
mucho texto,
I don't know if
mucho
I'd ever
diálogo,
order one in a
así
restaurant,
que
but...
Be careful, you might not have a
creo que,
choice.
muchachos,
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking
referencia
mission.
a David
You
Bowie.
must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies.
Yeah, about the back.
I see. Well,
No problem. I can see it from here.
I'll be monitoring your progress. My frequency is 140. If you need to talk to me, okay, Snake. Go.
Listo. A ver los controles, cómo se juega esto. Ok, no es perfecto en FPS, pero bueno, es lo que hay. ¿Cómo cambio el HUD? Opciones, juego, gráfico, controles, sonido, accesibilidad. Con un arma, agarrar enemigo, corrección de color. Opciones no. Con juego. Cambiar estilo del juego. Tengo controles similares del juego. Son consejos. Mostrar zona de cámara, mostrar accesorios. Trayectoria. Levantar enemigos. Ok, eso no se puede modificar ahora. Oh, qué barro. A ver. Así para poder. Ah, ok. Entonces así. Así cambiamos el camuflaje. Ahí no lo puedo cambiar, listo. Si me agacho. Sí. Casi me caigo. Serpiente y otra serpiente.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out. In the survival viewer, choose weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed from that list. Choose the weapon you want to equip, and for other equipped items, just do the same thing from...
Got it. Use the survival viewer.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for all, if your stamina gets too low, it'll affect you. Won't be able to shoot accurately. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't have to recover lost stamina. You can hunt. You can use either your tranquilizer...
My only weapon is a Mark 20.
That's right. It's been fitted with its own... However, the suppressor will deteriorate once its durability reaches zero, the noise suppression. The suppressor's durability is shown in any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment?
Solo covert actions are standard. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or... Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation if there aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any...
Then I'll just have to...
I'm afraid so. SIS guidelines stipulate this. Tape it to your body.
How generous.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state...
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really...
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will...
I'll keep it in mind.
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on...
Correct. The mission...
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to...
Who?
I'll introduce them this time. So the first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring as well as recording your mission data. She's a...
She? Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it. My frequency is 14...
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over.
So saving lets me...
That's right. It also records...
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, a legendary soldier. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's off. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission.
The boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at...
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Oh.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top-secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure.
How to think like a soldier? A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And in fact, technique doesn't even matter. Spirit and body are like two sides of I can't teach you how to think. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldier having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow.
Is that why you were...
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. A soldier has to follow whatever order, but you're looking for a reason to. You're a natural born. A soldier is a political. That's doubly true if he's a career. He has no enemies and no friends. You follow the orders.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Soon, in the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or there's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a... So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in...
And that's the way a soldier's supposed...
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake? Oh,
That's right, the legendary unit that the boss put together, the Cobra unit. A group of heroes that, as long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather...
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings, but this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a permit class.
My frequency is 141.8.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve... Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see...
Perfecto.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Bien. Bien, perfecto. Ok. Así, primera persona. Ahí está. Ahora, lo siguiente, acá. Ya. Y allá hay otra. ¿Cómo recargo? Un cuadrado. Para el micrófono direccional, a ver si hay algo. Ah, mira. Un patito. ¿Y el silenciador? Ah, ahora sí. Ah, mira. Y para entrar al menú acá. Ok, camuflaje. Militar, ok. Cara, tal. La máscara de Raiden, listo. Mochila. Puro. Esto. Chat. Armas. Semicardios. Ok, comida. Anaconda gigante, pitón.
Tasty.
Un calorimate. Camuflaje. Smoking blanco. No se utiliza si no se pasa y duplica el índice. Listo. Listo. Esto para el otro. Dame. Más o menos agarrándole a le voy agarrando la mano a estos controles, más o menos. el cuchillo. Si vos te quedas parado en la barra, te hundís. Y te hunde bastante encima del barro. Así, oso, puto. No, ¿cómo que te hagas, boludo? Hijo de puta, no tenía ni idea. ¿Qué tengo acá? Nada. Listo. Puta madre. Vaya cuchillazos al cocodrilo.
Not too bad.
Sillón. Arriago. Más rápido, bien. Por caso. Un cazador. Osa. Una serpiente. curioseando nada más para ver cómo es el tema.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory, we can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited.
The Major is right. The point of this mission, the success of the mission depends on change your camouflage by selecting camouflage from the survival. The uniform option lets you choosing camouflage. Also, don't forget if you just stand up and run, but if you crawl instead, you can see how effective the camo index shows. The higher the value, the harder you are to. The key is to make your.
Dale. Más o menos le engancho la onda, ok. Ok, voy entendiendo. Listo. Abajo. Esa. Alguna técnica me sé de este juego. Acá salió. A ver, ¿cómo le. Ok, no es como en el 5 esto. Ahí está, ahora sí.
Freeze.
algo para darme?
Breathe.
No, wait!
Ahí va. Ahí va. Listo. Gracias. A ver qué me dio. Nada importante. Aquí una rana. Está queriendo. Todo bien. Acá hay algo. Granadas, ok. Ahora, ¿y si vuelvo? Ya sé qué puedo hacer. Mira, acá se me olvidó el otro. Este que- No me metí por donde me metí. Así. Hay un arma acá. Qué bueno. Tengo un francotirador. Lo malo de este juego es que si vos no conseguís las armas en donde están ubicadas, o donde las dejaron originalmente, donde las encontrás en el piso, no podés encontrarlas más adelante. Tengo una idea, ¿qué vamos a hacer con esta granada? Ah, mira, una rana. Mochila. Ahí boquita. Ahí boquita. Esa no la tenían, ¿Cómo hago? se intenta. Uno a veces intenta cosas raras. Cura no necesito todavía. Se cayó uno.
There's something wrong. Support unit, confirm their status.
Otro. Mejorar. Todas, ¿no?
Not so great. I want some more.
Bien.
Disgusting.
Antes de seguir, ya vuelvo. Ahí va. Ahora sí hemos vuelto. Vamos acá. ¿Por qué no estoy escuchando nada? Ahí va. Ahí está. Ahora sí.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the
Northeast sector.
Be careful. He must not be
Right.
Oh, and one more.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that.
And that is?
Sorry for being.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood.
Listo.
Just my imagination.
Who's that?
Puta madre.
HQ. This is HQ. Patrol here. Enemy sighted. Requesting backup.
Uno
Sending reinforcements.
Sick.
Chile. Uno siempre tiene que ir buscando los recursos porque acá dijeron que es escaso, así que no te queda otra. Para mí.
Gross.
Hay que ir con huevo de delante de una serpiente y pegarla así en una vez. Dale Prácticamente todo es comida. Ahí arriba. La ratita. Se comió la ratita. Listo, vamos a la siguiente secuencia.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the Army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
by the way. Your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery.
Roger.
What about the sentry?
I had to kill them. There was no other way.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss sometime.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and...
Perfecto. ¿Qué está haciendo? Estoy buscando el Kamehameha, este hijo de puta, ¿qué le pasa?
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz.
Huh.
What's a crew soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. Don't you forget it.
Es una diva el hijo de puta. Es una diva, por Dios.
Sokolov is ours.
Próximamente Revolver.
Get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. Huh. not the boss, are you?
Crew operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one!
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
Filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Qué hija de puta.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you...
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov, too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU...
A GRU, Colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet powers. Something between the KGB...
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like...
I don't like it.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll...
We're counting on you.
Ok, vamos a hacer una cosa. Si yo agarro... Si yo agarro y pego un tiro... Ven paradox.
Snake, what have you done? You've changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
Detallito que vale la pena conservar. No tiene nada. No resulta nada. Suéltalo. Suelta. Voy a agarrar, soltar algo más. Para ahí está. A ver qué opciones de diálogo hay.
What do you mean?
Think about it.
Gotcha.
If you blow up those drums, just make sure you don't...
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
No.
It's a movie. You have...
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling.
It's just...
Maybe that's...
Snake.
I know.
Godzilla, Doctor, the meat, it was a pirate, it's...
Where?
You'll just...
Really? Why is... You think...
Of course.
You should...
I don't...
Not really.
Okay, when the... It's all that...
No kid.
That... Do you want to save? Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
El puente ha sido restaurado.
You okay?
Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
That's what they were making you build?
Yes. The Shagohod. The dreaded behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBM.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No. This is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is complete and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war?
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
La cámara. Ahí va.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets.
Turbio.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Alguien.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Se armó la pistola, boludo.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
Directo al hígado.
The new blood has been rejected.
Are we done here?
Now, on to Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Traidora de los Estados Unidos de América.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical... You've got to get those wounds... All right, let's get you fixed up.
Okay, Snake. Just relax and... Stay with me. I've seen people...
Major.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to...
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the... If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into two types, medicine and surgical. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper... They need to be fixed using surgical... Move the healing cursor with a movement stick to the affected part of your body. And once you've selected the affected area, use the movement stick. With this method, you can use items to help you recover. Treat a bone fracture. First, lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to diptych to slow the flow of blood. You do everything I mentioned. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me.
Herida abierta, sangrando. Lloviendo. Sutura. Entonces es sutura, desinfecto, hay todo parchado, loco.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Perfecto.
Shagohod.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
Y voló toda la mierda. acá arranca el juego, básicamente. Basado en Metal Gear 3. Se nota que rehicieron la canción.
I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. This ordeal, the trial to survive, for the day we see new light. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Snake eater. 10 puntos, la verdad.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad. So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you, too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This fox is still one step ahead of the hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB 754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard that. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borisovich Volgin.
Volgin? Of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the Boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The Boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells?
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. But serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the Boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in a violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The Army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the Boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The Boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volkin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volkin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
accidentada que la última vez la caída, pero sirve.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear.
I got blown pretty far up.
Snake, let's go over rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the ship. And finally,
eliminate the boss.
This mission will be codenamed Operation
because I'll be taking on the boss and our couple.
Don't forget about Colonel Volkin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's
demand. You mean it was? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the...
If supporting the current regime helps us...
And what are the CIA's...
Our priorities are the rescue of...
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What?
I'm changing my code name. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my code name, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one.
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
Oh, must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels, but the prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those
I get it. You use the name of the tunnel they escaped.
Yes, that's exactly.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped, Tom, was one of the unlucky tunnels. I watched the movie again. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the...
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to you.
You know, let's just use 0, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it is.
From Square Zero. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic.
Is this her last chance to...
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. Her frequency is she'll be recording your mission data as well. And there's one more person on your support. He's an expert on the latest, and he'll be going up against some of the world's most... If you have any questions, just ask...
Mr. Sigan.
Adam, your KGB contact.
The same factory Sokolov was being...
Yes, meet up with Adam.
How will I know that...
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the... The password is... Who are the Patriots? And Lali Lulelo.
Lali Lulelo. Gotcha.
Lali Lulelo.
You've been equipped with a 45.
I thought standard Fox...
The circumstances are different. It would be necessary to make your... But remember, Snake, if you fail this mission, it will...
Understood.
Bueno. Vamos a hacer lo siguiente. Vamos a guardar.
Paramedic.
Snake.
Same.
Ford.
Huh?
I visit. Yeah.
Better luck.
But keep an eye and if you're...
Yeah.
You're well. Yes.
Of course.
Good.
Didn't they you...
No.
What?
So that I... Snake, someone... So...
Thanks.
Stop. You can...
All right.
Chin up.
I'll be in.
Vamos a dejarlo ahí. Un segundo. Vamos a... Acá. Epa. Acá estoy yo. Ahí estamos en el medio, ¿no? Sí, más o menos. Ok. Voy a sacar esto un segundo. Voy a acomodar el pelo. Ahí va. Bueno. Ok. Esto va a ser más o menos así.
You want to save?
No.
Take care, Snake.
I will.
Ok, vamos a dejar esto así un segundo porque vamos a hablar. No suelo hacer videos, no suelo comentar algunas cosas, pero bueno, últimamente tenía como cierta necesidad de sentarme a jugar, grabarlo, transmitirlo un poco por YouTube y después hacer algún comentario con respecto a lo que estoy jugando. Soy una persona que agarró un día, se encontró con la saga Metal Gear y estudió mucho la historia de Metal Gear. Y voy a ser sincero, los juegos que completé de Metal Gear son Metal Gear 5, ninguna más. Y jugué un poco Peace Walker en la PSP cuando tuve una PSP en su momento. Obviamente conozco la historia que hay detrás de... Se terminó Metal Gear, se fue Hideo Kojima de Konami y fundó su estudio, se hizo Death Stranding 1, se hizo Death Stranding 2 y son dos juegos que me encantan sinceramente. Los dos juegos beben mucho de Metal Gear, lógicamente, obviamente no están orientados a ser un juego de sigilo, pero tienen cosas que tenía Metal Gear, por lo menos el 5. Y esta es la primera experiencia que yo tengo con jugando Metal Gear Solid 3, ahora llamado Delta. ¿Qué ocurre acá? ¿Qué me llama la atención? Obviamente Konami, después desde 2000, creo que salió en 2015, 2016, 2015 salió. Metal Gear Solid 5 salió en 2015, lo echan a Hideo Kojima. Estamos en 2025, pasaron 10 años. Y en medio, lógicamente, Konami perdió la costumbre de hacer juegos y quiso volver a la industria, estuvo mucho tiempo fuera, e hicieron este remake. El remake está bien porque... O no, mejor dicho, no está bien el remake, pero está bueno el juego. ¿Qué quiero decir con esto? Rehicieron el juego original, es una copia del juego original, pero le sacaron dos cosas que para mí son importantes. Yo miro para este lado porque tengo la pantalla ahí, pero en realidad no estar mirando ahí, pero bueno. A este juego le sacaron dos cosas importantes cuando lo volvieron a hacer. La primera es que visualmente se ve diferente. La secuencia del inicio tiene un filtro verde que es, en su momento se habló de que era una cuestión de mostrar cosas de la selva, no importa. Una cuestión de estética. Ese filtro estético, esa cosa estética la perdió el juego. Y esto lo pierde. Esto se pierde porque la persona que hizo el remake no es el que hizo el juego original. En todos momentos usa el nombre de Hideo Kojima porque tienen que dar crédito, calculo, porque habrá algún contrato, no saber por qué. Y tampoco está sentado, no importa, después lo corrijo. Es muy probable, en definitiva, ¿no? Vamos hablando todo un poco. El juego está bueno porque es el mismo juego que nos vendieron hace 21 años. Pero obviamente adaptado para nuevos públicos, con el cartelito de hay cosas que cambiaron algunos modelos. Obviamente el actor original de la voz de Solid Snake que fue productor del juego, puso otra vez la voz. Perfecto, la verdad que en cuanto a preservación de la obra original hicieron lo mejor posible. Pero la falta de Hideo Kojima provoca que el juego tenga... Epa, se me fue la cámara. No, por acá, no, por acá, ahí. El juego tenga ciertos errores, que es una realidad. Se me ve la heladera. El juego tiene ciertos errores, que son estos temas. Perdió un poco de identidad y sobre todo no se ve del todo bien los modelados. Hay algo raro en los modelados. No sé si será por el nuevo motor gráfico. Por este lado, ahí ve, se ajusta la cámara. No sé si será el nuevo motor gráfico, no sé si será una decisión consciente del desarrollador o de la persona que estuvo detrás de esto. Y por último, mi veredicto es que es el mismo juego de hace 20 años. Le adaptaron los controles, que esto está bueno, porque la verdad que jugablemente hasta ahora es muy parecido a Metal Gear Solid 5. El juego estará incompleto, pero era el que mejor podía jugar, tenía la mejor jugabilidad. Eso por un lado. Por el otro, yo creo que habiendo Konami sacado la remake del Silent Hill 2, que en lo personal es un juego que me gustó mucho, habiendo sacado este remake que está bien, en PC no anda tan bien, lo estoy jugando en medio y en 1080p. Lo compré en PC porque me salía más barato de comprarlo en Play, es la única verdad. Vamos a ver si en un par de años hay otro Metal Gear nuevo, no un remake, un nuevo Metal Gear. Por el momento, si esto le va bien, en un año vamos a estar hablando de que empezaron a trabajar en el remake del Metal Gear 1, que es el que le sigue en línea de tiempo. Salvo que quieran hacer un remake de Peace Walker. En una de esas tenemos un remake de Peace Walker que funcione igual que este juego. Que obviamente va... no sé si conocen, habrán visto como Peace Walker, pero como era una PSP, tiene muchas más pantallas de carga, hay menos gameplay entre escenas, no hay, es diferente. Probablemente si hacen un remake de ese juego sea diferente en aspecto... ¿cómo se diría la palabra? En el aspecto no jugable, en el aspecto técnico va a ser diferente. Metal Gear Solid 5 probablemente no tenga un remake porque es muy moderno. De hecho, seguramente tenga alguna reversión, remasterización para consolas modernas. Y quizás en una de esas lo completan porque la última misión nunca llegó al juego. Quedó incompleto el juego. Y si haya un remake del 1. Y no estoy seguro si algún día vaya a haber un se vaya a ver un nuevo Metal Gear de cero. No lo sé. Ojalá que no. La verdad, si no está Hideo Kojima, no hagan otro Metal Gear. Hagan remakes. Preferiría, mira lo que te digo, prefiero que hagan remakes de todos los Metal Gear antes que hagan un nuevo Metal Gear, porque puede salir muy mal. Y si es un nuevo Metal Gear, ojalá que no sea con Solid Snake, porque la línea de tiempo ya está toda cubierta. El primer juego es este, con en la Unión Soviética, el fin de la guerra de misiles, todo eso, hasta el 2009 con Metal Gear Solid 4, que por cierto debería de estar a esta altura de la vida. Tiene más de 15, 16 años de salir el juego y el juego solo está en Play 3. Nunca salió en Xbox y no salió en ninguna otra consola. Muchos dicen que había un contrato de exclusividad de Metal Gear Solid 4, que no es todo mentira, no hay un contrato, era que la Xbox 360 no podía... la Xbox 360 más vendida tiene 4 GB de memoria. 4. El juego solo en Play 3 pesaba 50 GB porque era en un Blu-ray. O sea, no iba a poder funcionar ese Metal Gear en la Xbox. Técnicamente iba a poder funcionar, pero si todo el mundo tiene 4 GB y vos necesitas 50 para correr el juego, y no, la gente no iba a poder en ese momento claramente jugarlo. Y por eso salió en Play 3. Dicho esto, en definitiva, el juego me lo voy a pasar. No lo voy a hacer en directo porque la verdad no... me corre bien y hasta ahí. Y yo la verdad que quiero subir un poquito más los gráficos. Quiero jugarlo a 60 estable porque a veces se cae. No sé cómo quedó en la grabación, no sé cómo quedó en el vivo. Lo veré después. Pero en definitiva voy a terminar el juego. Es un buen juego porque si es el mismo que se hizo hace 20 años con los controles actualizados, va a ser un buen juego. Conozco un poco la historia. Y en definitiva, si pueden jugarlo, jueguenlo. Quizás les diría que por el momento eviten la versión de PC porque anda peor. Esa es la verdad. Y bueno, lo único que nos queda es jugar y disfrutar de esto, que la verdad que está buenísimo. Y ojalá se hagan remakes de los juegos que quedan, sobre todo el 1. Yo quiero ver el remake del 1, a ver cómo es. Pasar de un juego que es completamente pixeleado a 4K es otro tema. Así que bueno, hasta acá el streaming, hasta acá el video. Esto voy a hacer un recorte y va a subirse como un video aparte. Y bueno, nada, gracias por todo, por los que se pasaron. Y bueno, que tengan una buena semana, buena noche, buen día, dependiendo del horario en el que me estén viendo.